Six Nations time, we tend to associate it with going down to the pub. Well, in Ireland, there's one or two people in the Last Chance saloon. Brian O'Driscoll, fantastic career, but this is the last season he'll be involved in this wonderful tournament. Can he sign off in the manner that he would like? There are good signs. Anybody who saw that game against New Zealand the end of last year, Ireland had that game won, dashed in the last few moments, cruelly really, but there's plenty to build on. And you would imagine if you're Ireland, if you're Joe Schmidt, actually that makes them quite dangerous. Joe Schmidt hasn't been involved in the Six Nations before, but he's a fantastic coach. He's done everything with Leinster, really successful. Now, it's a slightly different dynamic, the Six Nations. Cleverly, I think, he's gone for 3 home wins. That's all the target he's set Ireland, 3 home wins. They've got to go away, though, to France and to England. Now, those clearly are going to be the games that decide whether they finish at the top of the pile or mid-table. Unfortunately for Ireland, their key man won't be playing. Sean O'Brien, injured, huge loss to them really. I think their fortunes very much depend on who steps up, and I'm looking particularly Peter O'Mahony, the Munster captain. I think he might be quite influential. He looks to be growing into that role as skipper of Munster. There are others who might step up, but that back row is going to be crucial. Paul O'Connell was quite funny at the Six Nations launch, suggesting that it didn't really matter how old somebody like him was because he didn't have any pace to lose in the first place. That might not be quite the same with O'Driscoll, who's been wonderful for so many years. But if he's not quite there still in this final season, other people will be quick to exploit it. The big question is always with Ireland, injuries. If you lose a couple of key people, thinking particularly in the front row, it's very hard for the guys behind them, for the back row, for the halfbacks to make the sort of impact they'd like. I like the halfbacks though, Conor Murray and Johnny Sexton with the Lions finishing halfbacks, and I think whatever happens, they'll have quite a big say. Speak to 1 or 2 people and they'll tell you they reckon Ireland are favourites for this tournament. The big issue though is, can they do it in France? Can they do it at Twickenham? I think actually they might have a chance in France. Brian O'Driscoll had a great game there as a young player. I'm sure he'd like to sign off with something similar. I think they'll be top 2, no question.